I'm here in Medjugorje, and I'm with, what's your name?
Debbie,
Debbie, where are you from?
Michigan in the USA.
First time here?
Yes.
And yeah, you are here on a day trip, you said. Right?
Just a one-day trip. We were first time in Croatia,
Mhm.
and we're so close to Medjugorje, and they built the new road and the new bridge. We have to go to Medjugorje and check it out for at least one day, it worked out well. But I was born and raised Catholic, married to somebody who's not Catholic, but there's 6 kids in my family, and all of my sisters and my brother are looking forward to me bringing something home for them from Medjugorje, of course, and they can't believe I'm here.
So you went now on Apparition Hill up there?
Yes,
There
we did. We did. That was quite the little climb, but it was worth it. It was beautiful. We made it up there and back and celebrating here. Yeah, we made it and survived. Yeah. So I started, I was kind of one of the normal Catholics that went to Catholic school, elementary school, and then not for junior high or our high school. So kind of fell away a little bit. And even when I had children, I waited until they were a little bit older and then sent them through what we call RCIA in the state.
Explain what that is.
Rite of Christian Initiation for Adults. Yeah. So I think maybe you have to be in 7th grade, which is about maybe about 12 before you can do that if you haven't made so. Yeah. So I waited. So I did that, and I think it really took, especially for our son. He became very devout and kind of an inspiration, I think, for all of us, more so. And then a few years ago, I did a trip to Israel with my friend Cindy, and I was like, that's on my bucket list. I want to go, and just seeing every place where everything actually took place was very inspirational. Very, very inspirational. And now when you go to church and you hear, oh, Jesus, and he was in Capernaum, you can say, I was there, and you can picture it like exactly where it happened. So that kind of renewed my faith a little bit too. And other than that, my mom was very faithful, and my dad too. And I wish we were staying for longer, but it worked out this time. But we were so close, I wanted to check it out. And then maybe we'll come back for a pilgrimage. I think in the future, I would like that and experience some other things. And it happens to be on a Sunday, so I don't even think they're doing confessions today.
There is confession, sure.
Oh, there is today on Sunday? Oh, because there wasn't right after Mass when we got here, and I was like...
Tonight at 5 you go on the left side of the church.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's why we meet.
Maybe. Thank you for that, because I was thinking if I was here on a pilgrimage, I would know this. I would know these things, but it's a very nice one-day trip, but... I would suggest people come probably at least and spend the night. You can.
So you came from Split now?
We came from Dubrovnik.
Yeah, so not difficult to come.
No, we just hired somebody for a one day. We didn't want to drive ourselves. So we just hired a driver for the day, and he's out having a meal someplace while we're climbing the mountain. But, but that's my whole story.
And so you regularly go to confession in America?
Yes, just since I went to Israel, but actually the first time was I worked for an airline. I was a flight attendant, and I was in Rome on a layover, and I went to confession at the Vatican.
Wow.
And it had been a long time since I'd been to confession. And he was so wonderful. It was like having a conversation. And I walked out of there and met everybody else, and we were having dinner around the Pantheon, and I felt like I was walking on clouds. Yes, so I've tried to keep it up since then. Yeah. And the Jerusalem and the Israel trip kind of cemented it. So
unbelievable. So, and what would you tell people who are scared to go to confession? What is so beautiful about it?
Oh no, I think well, it lifts such a burden from your heart. You need to do it, even if it's been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a long time for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it just makes you feel so clean and pure and like you're walking on a cloud. It's just different. So, and forgiven, and then you can start anew.
Yes.
So
And costs nothing. No therapy costs nothing.
yes,
For
exactly.
free.
Exactly.
You pray the rosary. How is that for you?
Yes. Well, again, our son kind of got us started into that more. He prays it with his. They have 5 children, and he prays it. And I was like, whoa! I wasn't even sure actually of some of the prayers, that went in different places, but he certainly knew. So I kind of think God was speaking, having them go through RCIA at a little bit later date. And my sisters and I actually talk about this, how being a cradle Catholic, as we call it, you don't even remember the things you learned in the 1st and 2nd grade. And when you go through it at a later date, I think maybe it takes a little bit more. You think about what you're actually learning.
Yes, beautiful.
So
maybe an inspiration for somebody listening to do that program.
Yes, definitely. My brother-in-law just became Catholic this past Easter.
Wow.
And my sister was saying that she attended the RCIA classes with him. And she kept calling me saying, I never knew this. I don't remember learning this. And she thoroughly enjoyed going through the classes with her husband. So that was a real blessing. So.
And what is for you? A lot of Catholics don't know about the Holy Mass, the Eucharist. What is it for you? Can you explain it a little bit?
Yeah. Well, I do think that's definitely, obviously, something we believe as Catholics, that it's actually the body and blood of Jesus, and we revere it and we take it in, and then actually, my daughter-in-law, who actually converted to Catholicism after she married our son, actually, she said something once that I thought was wonderful. She said, I take the kids to church and they're running all over the place and they're being awful, and sometimes I think, what's the point? But then I think, God is actually there, so they're in his presence, so that has to help. And I was just like, that's great.
Yeah.
I never even really thought about that, but I thought that makes me cry thinking about how she, a convert, told me, a cradle Catholic, you're right, you go there even if people are loud and coughing and you can't even hear, you're in the presence of God.
So beautiful.
So that's, so I think about that. So.
Unbelievable, so beautiful. And what would you tell people now? Why come to Medjugorje? You have been here a day, you experienced it a bit?
Yes, well, I had, of course, read a lot about it, and Mary is still appearing here. And I feel like, as opposed to some other places where she did appear. Sorry, I'm getting emotional talking about this. She appeared, but she's still appearing here. So it should fill you with, belief in God, belief in his mother, and somebody to be an intercessor for us and ask her for help with anything that's going on in your family, and to keep your family safe and then devout and on the right path at this time of the.
And what would you tell your younger self after all the experience you made now?
Yeah, to probably to not fall away. I do believe now, I think about my nieces and nephews in college. I think there's more groups now, real good Catholic organizations on campuses that they can join to keep, for camaraderie and to keep each other on the right path than I think there were in the 70s, maybe when I was in college. So I think that's a great thing to do, and there's a lot of people that are young people who are very devout. Just that, I'm amazed at my son and our daughter too. So I think that's wonderful. I think if you worry about the future, I think about all of the really smart, devout young people I know, and I really don't worry about the future because they seem to be a lot smarter than I was at that age. So I think with God's help, Mary's help, we should be okay.
Wow.
Okay.
And what would you tell people? You see a lot of people struggling in their marriage. You're married, you have a lot of children. What would you give them as an advice?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's
Husband
a
sitting
good,
next.
yes,
Good.
yes.
You can say something too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know, to be forgiving
Mhm.
and tender with each other. And I think that's it. And always think of love is the main thing. Do everything with love,
Yeah.
as God says, right?
Would you like to
As
say
Jesus
something? How is it
says?
for you?
Okay.
How is
I
it for-
agree.
You agree? Yes.
That's what keeps you married, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
And how is it? You said you're Presbyterian, is that right? How is it for you to be here in Medjugorje now?
Mhm.
I survived.
He's
Yes,
going to
that
be a
was
devout
it.
Catholic, you will see.
Yes,
Our lady's
yeah.
working on him.
I know,
Absolutely,
yes.
signing already. Beautiful.
I attend church with Debbie and the kids when they go
Mhm.
as a family,
Yeah.
like that. And I know how it goes. I can.
You know it
Yeah.
now by now.
Mhm.
Maybe
Yeah.
there will be some fine tuning now in Medjugorje for you.
Maybe. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Who knows exactly? Beautiful.
Yes. Yeah.
And
It's just kind of too
yeah.
short of a period of time, like since we're here just for one day, but
Mhm.
I check it out for the rest of the family and everything. And I think a pilgrimage would be a lovely way to come to Medjugorje where everybody is praying together. I see some of the groups praying together and everything, whereas we were just by ourselves. And so you have, the cohesion of
the
a
community.
yes. So that would be a nice way to do it. So, and it's lovely here, and it was so easy to get here. If you're in Dubrovnik or Split, something, just come to Medjugorje for at least a day and whet your appetite, and or spend the night and then go back. So,
And
That was
see,
it.
at 5 o'clock, always, every day, confession next to the church on the left side. 6
Okay.
o'clock, Holy Mass, if you have the time. It's
Okay.
beautiful. Back altar, the sun is setting, and
yes.
right, beautiful.
Oh,
And
that's
what would you tell
wonderful.
people now? Why are you Catholic?
Oh, well, why am I Catholic now? Well, I feel like the Catholic religion was, I love history and everything, and Catholic was the first religion, and others, they broke away from the church. But I still think that's our historical roots. And I was raised Catholic, so of course, but I could never figure out a reason why I would go to any other church. And I feel comfortable in the Catholic Church, and I think it was the original, and it gives me comfort. And the things we believe in the Catholic Church give me comfort. And I believe whatever happens in your life it was meant to be, because I believe God has a plan. So even if you think it's something maybe that you weren't planning on or you didn't want to happen, it happened for a reason, and it makes you the person you are. And I think I believe God has a plan for us. So that's my Catholic faith.
You see
So-
that in your life, and you live like thy will be done, that you're smooth and easy going in your life?
Yes, yes, definitely. Oh, definitely. And I think the older you get, the more you understand that. I see it with my sisters, and my brother too, but there's 5 girls in my family and 1 boy. So, sisters especially, like, yeah, okay, well, I'm not happy about this, but that must be for a reason. We definitely give each other encouragement
As it's
that
written in
way.
the Bible, carry each other's burden. No?
Yes.
Wow,
So-
unbelievable. You got a favorite Bible scripture for you?
Probably just from Paul to the Corinthians about love, about yes,
The
the greatest of these is love,
beautiful.
which would solve a lot of problems, wouldn't
What you
it?
said
In the
in
world.
marriage, no?
Yes.
You got a favorite saint? You like?
A favorite saying about love?
No, just favorite
Oh.
saint?
Oh,
Just-
about his favorite saying? I don't know. Oh, give it to God and go to sleep.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a good. Wow.
Okay.
Give it to God and go to
Yes,
sleep. That's
yes,
beautiful.
yes.
And makes
So
it
that
much more
probably-
easier.
Yes. So that's probably it.
Thank you so much for that beautiful interview. And next time the saint.
Yes, no kidding. Okay.
Maybe Our Lady now.
And yes, your interviews are so inspiring to me. Before we came here, I would watch them while I was just puttering around the house, gardening or anything, and listen to the interviews, and they're very inspiring. So keep it up.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.